We made it to Tokyo. What do you think?
This is my hometown. We love it.
So here we are outside Tomoko's family home here in Setagaya. Today's mission, we're gonna go find a beautiful piece of cake for Tomoko because she loves cake. And you know what they say, right? Let them eat cake. And Uda-san's car right there. Very narrow streets here in Tokyo.
I brought my books and my sweat towel and what else I brought. Are you videotaping me?
What are you gonna do today?
We're gonna go to Uniqlo.
Today's mission is to get some cake for Tomoko. We're gonna head to Kichijoji and check out the town there. We want to go to Inokashira Koen. We also have the Ghibli Museum there, which we won't be going to today, but maybe we'll take Sakura there one day. So we're riding bikes that my father-in-law has lent us, and surprisingly Tokyo is really easy to get around by bike. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Right around the corner from where Tomoko's family live, they have a driving range as well as tennis courts. So it's pretty cool. You can just grab your golf clubs and walk just around the corner and hit some balls. Tokyo has amazing parks and trails buried in the city. You just have to go and find them. You may have to ride along a major highway for a little while, but you can get to them. This is one. It's just around the corner from where Tomoko's family live, and it's amazing. But Tokyo, the city, which is what we're in now, is comprised of 12 million people. But attached to Tokyo is Saitama, Kawasaki, Yokohama, Chiba, and all those other cities there compiled together equals to about 35 million. Some have said it's the most condensed city on the planet. It is amazing. And you can imagine with all those people, the energy that's required to keep 35 million people going in one concentrated area is a lot. So everywhere you go, you'll see giant power lines everywhere trying to give the energy to the people. So it's very cool. From Tomoko's family home to where we're going to be going, which is Kichijoji, it's going to be about 22 minutes by bike, and almost all of it should be on this path. So that's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of little parks everywhere too. Check this out. Just little parks everywhere. So everywhere you go recently, there's been these Asian giant hornets. There's signs out for them because they're everywhere right now. And we saw one attack a cicada, which was pretty cool, but they're very dangerous. I'm not too sure exactly what would happen if you get stung by one, but I don't think it would be very pleasant. There was a sign back there saying just be very careful and avoid them. This is a cute little house, look at that. Little parks everywhere you go. You can hear the cicadas chirping in the background, crows, Asian giant hornets or giant Asian hornets flying around. Pretty cool stuff. And to think we're in one of the most densely populated cities in the world, and here we are cycling down a beautiful path. They get torrential rain here. the rivers have to be continuously dug out for the rain. Another interesting aspect of Tokyo are these micro farms everywhere. So Japan has encouraged these little micro farms for food security in Tokyo or in Japan. So they get really good tax breaks and what have you to produce food. So you'll be right in the city and there'll be like a little farm, a little micro farm with the farmers and everything out there, you know, planting rice or whatever it is. So it creates a very cool atmosphere. There's a path on both sides of this little tiny river that we're cycling on. And this river, I believe, is the Kanda River. And it goes right to the ocean into Tokyo Bay. When you're walking, or in this case, when you're riding your bicycle down here, you see other people walking, and Tokyo's a massive city. Yet people still say hi when you walk past with a smile. The friendliness and the calm and relaxed attitude of the Japanese people creates this beautiful equanimity that is serene. No littering.
No littering. Good.
No littering.
Is that the right English?
Yes. Japan is very clean. Hardly anybody litters here. When they do, it's usually by accident. Nobody deliberately throws things on the ground. I have seen elderly people do it on occasion, but that was going back about 15 years ago. And only one time did I ever see it.
Oh, is it already Minogashira Koen here?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So we've just made Inokashira Koen. It took us no time to get to the park, and it was a pleasant trail ride here. Truly blessed to be where we are, where Tomoko's parents are in Setagaya. So we're going to keep on following the Kanda River here until we get to the center of the park. And Inokashira Koen is probably one of the most beautiful parks around. I mean, there are a lot of beautiful parks. This one here in particular has a fondness in my memory because Tomoko and I had some of our first dates here at this park 16 years ago. So we've been married for 15. So it's kind of exciting to be here. After the great earthquake in 2011, because of the energy shortage, half of Tokyo went kind of dark. It was encouraged to use less electricity. But since we've been back, the lights are fully back on again, and it's back to its bright and vibrant city that it was when we lived here before. Japan is bike culture, and parking your bike can be actually quite difficult because there are so many bikes. But as you can see with this bike parking lot, there's a lot of people here. Everywhere you go is a picture here. It's amazing. Japan's parks are really good with bathrooms too. There's always bathrooms on every corner. Tomoko needed to go use the bathroom, and we looked at the map and there was like literally one right behind us. So I'm in love with Tokyo right now, as you can tell. Big shout out to all our sailing buddies out there in the Caribbean. Big shout out to all our Canadian friends who are hanging out on Vancouver Island and Main Island and Vancouver. Big shout out to our English friends, English cousins and families. And big shout out to our American friends, and just big shout out to everybody from Tokyo. Tomoko, what do you think?
Anything about what?
What are the cicadas trying to tell us?
Hot. this here coming down.
Cool little temple right here. Very nice. In Inokashira Park, there was a saying that if you came down here and rode on the swans, that your relationship would break. Is that correct, Tomoko?
Ah, I heard that before. Or like rory boat or
Yeah.
swan, I don't know. Some kind of,
Superstition, right?
yeah.
So Tomoko just told me that we rode the boat and we didn't break up, and we've been together for, well, we met 16 years ago and we've been married for 15. So that superstition is not correct so far anyways.
That's right.
We're still in the hunt for a cake shop. Tomoko definitely wants to have some cake.
I know that lemon drop we are going to.
Oh, we're going to Lemon Drop. She already knows the restaurant we're going to go to. So there we go.
It's very expensive though, yeah.
Very expensive, of course.
It's not so big.
But we're just going to take a detour through the park here.
Oh, taiyaki is great too. I
Taiyaki.
love taiyaki.
There we go. 2 places.
Do you remember Isaiah? The huge famous yakitori.
So we've left the park and now we're walking into the downtown area of Kichijoji, and we're walking down this really cool street. Another interesting aspect of returning to Japan is inflation. Hasn't really affected the country as much as other countries. Canned coffee was 110 yen. Canned coffee now is like $120 yen now. So that's pretty impressive, and just generally prices haven't gone up that much. I know that the tax went up from 5% when we were here. It's now 10% now, so it's gone from 5 to 10. But all in all, really, we haven't seen that much inflation in comparison to everywhere else in the world. Kebabs, $5 per kebab. In Canada, you're looking at 10 to 15, plus you got to pay a 15% tip, and there's 15% tax. Like, it's amazing. So now we're in the train station mall in Kichijoji. try and meet up with Sakura and Babadi here.
So we are in this shop called Uniqlo. We're buying clothes with my grandma and my mom and my dad and me. My grandma bought me a skirt and a top, and my mom a shirt. A shirt, or was it a bikini?
It's a shirt.
A shirt.
We're still on the hunt for the cake shop. The one that Tomoko wanted to go to is now closed, and so we're trying to find another cake shop that she's found. So the cake store that Tomoko wants to go to is no longer here, so now she wants to go for taiyaki.
Very expensive. If you want to go cake, my favorite in this here.
Yeah, Tomoko, for the price of the cake, we can have like a massive meal.
No, that's not massive meal. You want a cake in the Paraco or you want to go taiyaki?
I don't know.
This is Kichijoji in front of the station. There's a cool kebab place.
I'm gonna go for the wrap actually.
Why is that?
What are you doing? Yum yum yum.
Taiyaki wa oishii desu. Very famous taiyaki.
We've had a really good day here in Kichijoji. We've taken our bikes and we rode down here on this beautiful trail. We didn't have cake, but we did have.
I need to eat Mont Blanc in Japan. It's so good, but very expensive.
What did we have? What was that we had?
Taiyaki.
Yeah, taiyaki.
Very traditional sweet in Japan.
Yeah, so we didn't have cake, but
so
we had
good.
taiyaki. We did have really good cake, but we didn't film it from another day. But we're gonna try and do a bit more videos here.
I took a picture. Maybe I'll show it here.
I'm gonna show you a picture of our cake. But yeah, we're having a really good time in Japan, aren't we, honey?
Yeah, I love Japan.
Yeah, Japan's pretty cool.
日本が大好きね。
日本は大好きね。
大好きね。
日本語は大好き。And every day speaking Japanese.
そうですね。You need to speak more.
こんにちは。お元気ですか? Right up my nose. Some things never change, like a telephone box that we just have completely disappeared in most places around the world because everyone has a cell phone, but not here. Good to see. Another interesting aspect of Japan is that in parking lots, everybody backs into their spot, like everybody. And it's because the parking is so tight that you just have to back in, because if you just were to drive in, trying to back out would be a nightmare. So it's easier just to back in, get the nightmare over and done with, and then that way when you leave you can just relax and just drive out. Now that I've been away from Japan for so long and sort of came back, since I've come back, I've noticed all these little things that I really like about Tokyo. I can't speak for the rest of Japan per se, because I'm sure Every area has their own little intricacies. But Tokyo is really a subculture upon itself. Such a massive city. So many things to do here. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And even when I lived here before for 6 years and had a motorcycle and drove around, I still didn't see everything because it's almost impossible to see everything. But riding around on a bike really does help slow things down a little bit. You can enjoy the little tiny subtleties of Tokyo, like this really cool trail. Like, we're in a big city right now, and here we are on this beautiful trail. Yeah. No. Yeah. This concludes our bike trip to Kichijoji. So Tomoko lived in her house for 10 years and she never knew that that trail existed. I don't need to tell you that though. I've been told to shut up. So here we are. Like, literally that trail to Kichijoji was so awesome. Like, stress-free. Amazing. And that, I guess, pretty much wraps up our trip. So I'll turn this into a video. Hope you guys liked it. It's our first video in Tokyo. So I'll try and make little tiny videos here to keep everything updated and what have you. Sorry there wasn't very much video of Sakura. I know that she's a main hit, but I'll try and include her more in the next video. And here we are. No, not this one. Always tricky finding out which street.
Kichijoji no Uniqloに行った